Good evening. I'm going to put my screen on gallery so I can see everyone that's here this evening. Welcome to everyone. It is a Travel Thursday, and you are here for our 5th edition of the monthly virtual destination series. For those of you that have not met me before, my name is Kristen Allen. I am the Executive Director at Global Ties Arizona. I would also like to acknowledge and introduce you to our program coordinator, Sonal Lal, that's here. Sonal, if you want to give a wave. We are the staff at Global Ties Arizona. And also for those of you that don't know what we do at Global Ties Arizona, we are the local implementing organization for the United States Department of State International Visitor Leadership Program. Through this program, we bring young emerging foreign leaders from all around the world to Arizona to meet their counterparts, to meet local business leaders, to meet government officials, and to also meet the citizens of our community like you. Because of the pandemic, obviously everything that we've been doing in this time has been virtual, and that is also part of the reason why we brought the virtual destination series to our community, because we know how much people have been wanting to travel to international destinations, have not been able to, but still have that bug. And so the real intention behind this was to bring different international destinations of interest to our local community, to all of you here. I'd like to give a shout out to a couple other of our board members that are here this evening. Dan Schweiker, hi Dan, and also Nicole Magny is here on the line. Great to have you guys. I also want to introduce you to one of our speakers this evening, Richard Fincher. He is the Global Ties Arizona Vice Chair of the Board of Directors, and also has been leading our October Asia Forum. So we actually, this event this evening is wrapping up our Asia Forum for October. What that means is we had 3 other activities, events this past month, an author on U.S.-China relations, Bloomberg reporter that was earlier this month. We also had our Chinatown Hall featuring CNN host Fareed Zakaria and local China experts just last week. And over the weekend, we did have our second Dining for Diplomacy event featuring China at George Yang's in Central Phoenix. So I encourage all of you to continue to check back to our website and stay updated with all of the different things that we're doing, because we are doing a lot of different things with different countries around the world, and we absolutely want to have you involved with us. So that said, we're going to try to jump in here as quickly as possible. You'll see here on your screen that we have this in a Zoom meeting, so you can feel free to have your cameras on, off as you please. Go ahead and keep your microphone just muted until we get to the discussion Q&A section of the event this evening. And you can, if you have questions throughout the virtual tour, you can feel free to put those in through the chat, and we'll monitor that chat and make sure that those questions are answered and acknowledged at the end of the presentation. So with that said, I would like to go ahead and share my screen and introduce our speakers for this evening. Tonight we are traveling virtually to beautiful, exotic, it looks so exciting, I haven't been there, Vietnam, and I really, really, really want to go there. So we're very pleased to have with us again, Richard Fincher, and 2 amazing citizen diplomats of Vietnam who are here to share with you all about Vietnam from a native perspective. And I especially want to thank Lien, because she's in Vietnam right now, and it is very, very early in the morning. I'll let her tell you what time it is when she speaks. But that said, we have with us Richard Fincher, Bui Thi Phuong Lien, and Mai Nguyen. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to ahead Richard to pull up our presentation. Give me 1 second, everyone, to share screen here. Have a couple different things going on. There we go. Are we good there?
Yes.
All right. So our first speaker today, as I said to you all before, is our Global Ties Arizona Vice Chair of the Board of Directors. Richard is also an instructor of Asian Studies and Comparative Dispute Resolution at Cornell University, and also teaches at ASU Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law. Starting in 2010, Richard served as part-time subcontractor in labor relations with USAID in Hanoi, Vietnam. He also was a Fulbright Scholar in 2015 in Saigon, teaching at Ton Duc Tăng University. And in 2016, he founded and served as the lead instructor for Engaged Learning Program in Vietnam for students at Cornell. So, Richard, I'm going to let you take it away.
Thank you very much, Kristen, and we're absolutely thrilled to have you join us today. If you can go to the next slide, we have two astonishing ladies who are with us, who I'm close friends with now for over 10 years. 12 years ago, I had never been to Vietnam, didn't exactly know where it was. I've now been there 12 times, and I lived there for an entire semester. It's one of the most amazing countries that I recommend that you visit. So our first guest speaker from the city of Ho Chi Minh City, otherwise known as Saigon, is Miss Lien, who again is a dear friend. I've been to her home. I know her family. She worked at the university where I did my Fulbright. She now works for the Sylvan Learning Institute and knows everything there is possibly about Vietnam. So we're just thrilled, and you can see from the screen what her experience is. Next slide. And my next dear friend was one of my students when I arrived in 2015. She was one of the first two students that I met on campus. And she now moved to the United States, graduated from San Jose State, and is now getting married this weekend. Her parents have been to my home here in Phoenix, and we're just thrilled to have and you can see from the screen what her background is. So as the moderator, my job is to keep this moving, specifically to allow these two young ladies to speak as to why you should visit Vietnam once COVID is over. So very quickly, there are 4 reasons that I'm recommending that you put this on your bucket list. Next. One, of course, is to meet the most engaging, wonderful people. The woman on the left is one of my Vietnamese students, and the woman on the right is a professor at the university and a very dear friend and the head of the international department for the labor school. Next. And this is the staff of the international school at Ton Duc Tăng University. And Miss Lien, you can see, is on the front row wearing the white polo shirt. So the engagement of Vietnamese people with Americans is just astonishing. Next. And the food. The food is unbelievable. There's so much of it that when I lived on campus, I actually ate like a pig, but I lost a pound a week. I lost 16 pounds living on campus because I was doing a lot of exercise. So this is one of my students on the left from Cornell. And when you look at the right, this just gives you a sense of the variety of vegetables that are part of the diet. Next. This is a fish that is fried during the Mekong River tour. I can't use chopsticks to get into this, but everyone else can, and it's just a wonderful example of the type of more exotic food that you can obtain there. Next. Coffee is exceptional. Coffee is actually grown in Vietnam, and my students have enjoyed all varieties of the coffees you can see over the years. Next. Embracing the Asian culture, both ancient and current. These women are wearing the ozai, which Lien will talk about, and Lien is wearing one right now. It is the traditional female dress, and it's not worn all that often, but there are some schools, like the one that I taught at, that required women to wear it 1 or 2 days a week. Next. And of course, the country is Buddhist, and there are temples as well as Roman Catholic churches, because of course it was a French colony for many years as well. Next. And lastly, a reason to go to Vietnam is for adventure. I know people who have taken the bike tour through the countryside. It's like a 2-week trip. I guess I'm too old for that, but it looks like it's very exciting. And next. And if you go to Saigon, you will have an opportunity to do night motorcycle trips. I didn't have to pay for it because I was escorted by all my friends on motorbikes, but motorcycles are the major source of transportation in Saigon. And these night tours are really exciting. So these are the 4 reasons that I'm proposing that you visit Vietnam after COVID. Next. So how do you get there from the US? There are no direct nonstops, unfortunately. Next. And it's pretty simple. I've done it 16 times to Asia, 12 times to Vietnam, and you typically go either to LAX, San Francisco, or Dallas, and then you either go to Seoul, Tokyo, or Hong Kong. Now, there are other ways to do it. Most recently, I have gone straight to Hong Kong. It's the longest. It's 15 hours on a plane, but once you're there, you're just 2 or 3 hours away from Ho Chi Minh City. So it's easy to go, and I'm sure that one of these days there will be a nonstop into Ho Chi Minh City. Next. And where is Vietnam in Southeast Asia? Well, it's a little tough to see, although you can see the word. It's south of China, next to Cambodia, Thailand, and Laos. And it's an extremely long country that faces into the EC and, of course, the ocean. So it's in the middle of many, many other countries in Southeast Asia. Next. So now we're going to turn from the travel part to talk about the most famous soup, the most famous product, actually, in terms of food. And I was at Park City, Utah last year skiing, and at the ski resort, they were selling this soup. So Mai is now going to share with us the ingredients of why this is one of her favorite delicacies. Mai.
Thank you, Richard. Hi, everyone. So one of the reasons that Richard mentions that we should visit Vietnam is food. Yes, food's the wonderful thing in Vietnam, and especially pho. Pho is the traditional dishes in Vietnam. So next, please. So I will talking about the ingredient to make a good pho. It take about 16 hours to make a pho broth, and there's many different ingredients, including lemongrass, gingers, and other stuff like beef bone and some vegetables. But lemongrass, ginger is the main ingredients, and it took 16 hours to make the broth. Next, please. Also onions garnish, which will go well with pho, but we have different pho in different regions, like the north. They don't usually use the garnish with bean sprout and the mint leaves, basil. But in the south, we love it pho with bean sprout and basil. Next, please.
And the bean sprouts are my favorite.
Yes, it's really make the broth and the noodle goes well together. And talking about rice noodle, there are 2 different noodles that can eat with pho. Well, on the picture, this is very traditional, but nowadays people also like the chewy noodle or the clear noodle as well. But my favorite is absolutely this rice noodles right here. So beef shank is one of the type of the meat to eat with pho. We also have brisket, flank, and also meatball to add on the pho. Next, please. So the broth, again, it takes long time to cook pho, but nowadays you can easily find some seasoning prepaid or remake seasoning broth for pho. So you only take like about an hour to prepare with that, and it just tastes like a real pho. Other ingredients that we can use for pho is like chili, fried pastry, lemon, or like if you would like an egg, you can add it to pho. That would be taste good too as well. Next, please. Uh, so Lien will talking about how different pho in different regions in Vietnam.
Hello, everyone. So as Mai said, we have different kinds of rice noodles, and also for pho in different regions we have different kinds of pho. For example, traditional pho is beef pho, but actually you can enjoy chicken pho in the south of Vietnam, or even in the mountain. They also offer you buffalo pho. So it's quite different. Yeah, you can enjoy different pho in different places in Vietnam. So that's the thing I would like to share. So you are not surprised when you come to Vietnam and you want to order pho. You need to ask the ingredients in that to make sure you can eat like meat or chicken or like other kinds of meat, very different. Yeah, thank you. Now, yes.
So I'm going to just speak very quickly to the three major regions that we're going to talk about. As you can see from the map, there are several, but for sake of today, Lien's going to talk about the north, and Mai's going to talk about the middle or the midlands, and Lien and I will talk about the south. And of course, Lien and Mai lived in the south, and Lien still lives in the south. So Lien, you're up. Next slide.
Hello, everyone, again. Yeah, it's my honor to introduce the capital of Vietnam, Hanoi. So, you know, Hanoi, besides the capital, it is also the cultural and political center of Vietnam. When we talk about Hanoi, we also talk about the lakes, like the picture you see in the screen, and the old towns and villages. We also talk about temples and about the ancient Vietnam, where our country began. And like you see in the screen, the seasons in Hanoi is also very different from other parts of Vietnam. It has 4 seasons, and when you come to Hanoi, if you live there for the whole year, you can enjoy 4 different seasons there. And as I said, it's also the political center of Vietnam. So you can see on the screen, that is the presidential palace in Baden district in Hanoi. You can see the different season in different photos later. And now I invite you to visit Ngoc Sơn Temple. It is in the center of Hanoi, and the Red Bridge leads us to the temple where the local people want to find their peace song or come to make wishes, or just simply by the calligraphy words. You can see that in the next slide, please. Yes, so you can see this is the bridge to lead to the temple inside, and the words I bought for the calligraphy happiness and prosperity. That's the tradition in Vietnam, especially on the Tết holiday. People come to the temple to get the lucky words for their family. Next slide, please. I would like to invite you to visit the first university of Vietnam. We call that Quốc Tử Giám. It means the temple of literature. So This temple, this university was formed in the 11th century under Lien dynasty. And nowadays, university students in Hanoi usually come here to celebrate their graduations. When they come inside, when you come inside the temple, you can see many gates and architectures standing for many other spirits of the culture and education of Vietnam. So in the next slide, please. You can see a special tower on your right hand side. We call that Pen Tower in the middle of the city, and it's near Ngọc Sơn. Pen Tower, it means tháp bút in Vietnamese, stands for the high spirit of learning and education, because Vietnamese people believe that only education can help it stronger and more independent. In the middle of the Oriental architectures and culture, Vietnamese people also nurture and appreciate the Western cultures as well. So like in the picture, you can see the St. Joseph's Cathedral is also seen as a symbol of Hanoi. And the two pictures in the middle, I would like to invite you to visit a village, a very old village and very special in Vietnam. It is called Đường Lâm Old Village. So you can see here the small alleys with old walls, old bricks, and old women as well. I really love this place as it makes me feel tranquility and ancient history. This place stands for a true Vietnamese village and life, and preserves the Vietnamese village as well. Đường Lâm is also the birthplace of the two heroic kings. So they play an essential role in the first periods of history against the Chinese invasion. So I recommend that you should come here to visit. It's very beautiful and very quiet. Next slide, please. So now I want you to take a deep breath to enjoy the breeze from the lakes in Hanoi. So in Vietnamese, Hanoi means in the river. So it is surrounded by the Red River, and the old town of Hanoi is surrounded by 3 lakes. We call Hoàng Kim Lakes. It means the return sword lake. There's a story here, and when you come to visit, you can listen to the local people to tell you the story. And Hồ Tây, it means the West Lake, and Trúc Bạch Lake. One thing very special at Trúc Bạch Lake, you can see the Senator John McCain monument at that place. It's very special. If you are American, you come there, you should visit that monument. And people can run, can walk around the lake, or ride bicycle for exercises. Very interesting, very peaceful. And next slides, please.
Kristen, because of time, can we go 3 slides to Ha Long Bay?
Yeah, okay. So I recommend that you can enjoy many foods in Hanoi as well. Ha Long Bay is the one of the new 7 natural wonders of the world. So I recommend that you should visit there. It takes 2 hours from Hanoi to Ha Long Bay, and you also explore very attractive landscape and explore the caves there as well. So beautiful. There are many caves
Next.
Do you want me to keep it? Am I still going next? Richard?
No, Lien can comment. I would just mention that my one time with Ha Long Bay, I was on a boat overnight with John McCain and Joe Lieberman. And believe it or not, senators do not travel with armed guards, at least not in that country. There was one person from the embassy, but if you go, you need to spend the night on the ocean in these spectacular old, they're not really old boats, but they look old.
Okay,
Lien, you can
so
describe this, yeah.
yeah, thank you, Richard. That's interesting information. So you can see on the screen here, there are many caves in Hạ Long and also in Ninh Bình province as well. It's near Hạ Long and it's also very near Hanoi. If you come to visit Hanoi, you should combine these two places as well. Yeah. So next slides, please. Here are the pictures taken by me in Sapa and Hà Giang. So these two places, I think that you should put it in your plan when you come to the north of Vietnam. It's very beautiful and very interesting. You can see here, you can challenge yourself by riding motorbike, like on these roads, very spectacular roads like that. And you can climb on the top of the Fancy Band Mountain to like see the whole view of the city of Sapa, and you can also see the rice stairways in the picture I show you from the cable car. It's very beautiful, like the picture you are drawing. Someone like draws that picture from the nature. That's very beautiful. So I would like to recommend you to visit. Yeah, I think. And one more. Oh, okay, I forgot one thing. This is very interesting. The waterfall. This waterfall is at the border of Vietnam and China. So you know, half of the waterfall belongs to China, and another half of Vietnam. Another half of waterfall belongs to Vietnam. So when we go there and we can see, oh, that side is China and this side is Vietnam. It's interesting. So I recommend that you can explore like different places, different culture in the north of Vietnam, especially at some provinces or cities near the border of Vietnam and China. It's very interesting. Yeah, thank you for listening. Oh, the last slide, the food. Very sorry. Food. You cannot leave Hanoi or these places without trying the foods there. And one interesting, you can enjoy local beer as well. So I know that people really like beer, so you should try beer every place you go in Vietnam. So every province in Vietnam, they have local beer. So that's a important thing. You need to note it down and try it. Very nutritious, right? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lien. Mai.
Hi, welcome to the middle of Vietnam, Huế. Huế is the old capital before Hanoi. So this is the picture of the building of the capital. So next, please. So talking about these guys right here in the picture, he's the last king of Vietnam dynasty. He ended the dynasty to become the social communist system as today. His name is Bảo Đại, and I have the same last name as him, and so he was surrendered by the French. Next, please. So these are some of the picture of the old capital in Hue as well. They have a beautiful lake that when you visit, you will have a wonderful background to have photo with. Next, please. There's some extra photo that we can see Lien that have visited and take photo. Next, please. This is some of the items that you will see when visit the museum in Hue. This is very old. Some of them is remake, but some of them is actually real that discover and in the Hue capital or the people there that they have keep it and they donate to the museum. Next, please. So one of the most tourist place that we must visit is Phuong River and Trang Thien Bridge in Hue. So if you have a tour in Hue, people always recommend that you will join in a music concert that happened in a boat in the Phuong River. So you will enjoy the traditional music will performed by Hue girls and also you can have dinner on the boat and enjoy the bridge that changing color each night. So next, please. Hoi An is also one of the famous places to visit. This building, the bridge right here on the photo, this actually the border that divide two sections of Hoi An. One side is from China and one side is from Japan. So you can see the China side, and then if you cross the bridge, you see the whole different architecture and culture that Japan needs you to live there. So next, please. Hoi An restaurants where you can find the most wonderful, delicious Vietnamese food. And I can see that on the picture, Lien had enjoyed her drink that from one of the famous restaurant in Hoi An. Next, please. Lanterns which is you can buy as a souvenir or you can enjoy a lantern performance when you visit Hoi An. And I believe Richard, you got some lanterns from Hoi An, right? Yeah, so it's very beautiful and colorful, but especially at night. Next, please. So Da Nang is one of the must place to visit. If you love the ocean, you love beach, you love the coast, you know, it's sunny, the water is there warm, so you can definitely swim or just have fun with like a lot of activities right now that happen in the beach. So next, please. Yeah, there's some other places to visit in Da Nang, middle of Vietnam, called Bangla Hill. Bangla Hill is a modern places that just built recently for tourists. They have a lot of activities like roller coaster, amusement park, and also they have the bridge with the hand, which is the most built architecture that famous for tourists now today. Next, please.
So I added this slide because I was in Hue and noticed that there's an ASU sign. And ASU, of course, is the university here in Phoenix. And I happen to know that that ASU brings engineering professors from Vietnam to Tempe to enhance their knowledge of teaching engineering. It's a long-term relationship funded by USCID. Thank you. Next.
Food. So of course, middle of Vietnam is the coast, so you can find anywhere with seafood. You can get snail, crab, shrimp, squid, and everything is fresh. The fishermen just got the fish, seafood out of the coast, the boat, and the restaurant will buy in the morning, and you can enjoy the foods right there. Next, please. So now Lien will take us to visit the south of Vietnam.
Welcome to Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City. So you can see the picture, on the on your left hand side. That is the flower streets on the Tet holiday among the very busy city. And another pictures is the Notre Dame Cathedral. That's the symbol of Ho Chi Minh cities as well. Next slide, please. The building on your left-hand side is used to be a symbol of the Ho Chi Minh City of Saigon and Ho Chi Minh City. It was the tallest building, but now there's another one is higher, and I would like to invite you to come and visit. You can see the people's committees of Ho Chi Minh City on the picture your right hand side. I took that photo on the Tet holiday, and also in Saigon you can see the very different moment in Saigon. So the normal life is very busy, but on the holiday, especially on the Tet holiday, it's very peaceful, and all of the people, they come to their hometown to see their family during the holiday. So it's very empty in Saigon during that time. Next slide, please. In Saigon, you also enjoy Starbucks coffees as well. It's everywhere in Saigon. You don't have to worry. Yeah, and this is the university, Tôn Đức Thắng University, where Richard and I used to be there.
And Mai was a student there.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Next slide, please.
So I think I'm going to try to speed things up because we hope that there'll be questions, and just put questions in the chat or you can speak up. But in the time that we have left, this is one of the unique aspects of Vietnam, a water puppet show. This is literally a swimming pool in front of you, and there are people in it, and they have sticks, and these are puppets that are obviously waterproof. Next. And they have battles in the water, and of course there's a musical group that is playing next door. And then at the end of the show, next. So these are the people who have been standing in the water for an hour.
Richard, I'm guessing they go underwater, right? They swim across with the puppets and that, or?
They're standing behind the screen.
Okay.
So they're not underwater, but they're standing behind. And Lien, anything else to say about water puppets? It's a real tourist thing these days. Lien, anything else? Other than it's a tradition that used to be done in the river, I believe.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, next. Oh, Lien, you can speak to this.
So different from Hanoi, you can easily take fast food in Vietnamese styles in Saigon. Like here in the pictures, you can see bánh mì. It's very popular in Saigon. Every morning, people, when people are very busy to go to work, they just grab a bánh mì to go to work. One more thing I recommend that when you visit to Saigon, you should try, that is bánh tráng trộn. It means eggs and noodles. It's very like snacks for young people and students. University students really love that, and young people, when they come to Saigon, they really enjoy that. Even my son, he eats that every day. Yeah. Okay, and rice, rice is very popular in Vietnam, but in Saigon, they have many ways to cook rice and to like serve rice for the guests. In here, you can see rice in the lotus flowers. It's very, the flower stands for the south of Vietnam, and very popular in in Mekong Deltas as well. In the next, we will present you the Mekong Delta, and you can see that. Okay, and now we would like to invite you to visit Mekong Delta, where there are many rivers and very interesting places for the tourists to visit. Richard, can you share a story about your students when they come to visit Mekong Delta?
Well, the Mekong, of course, is a river, but it's a whole river system, and it flows near Saigon, and they have tours, which I've done 6 times with the same tour guide, all 6 times. So I certainly know it. This is I forget if this is a boa constrictor, but it's not dangerous at all. Next slide. This is sort of a classic example of you do as part of the tour, take a bus, I'm sorry, a canoe ride that is powered by one of the locals. Next. And these are some of the traditional costumes from the north and the south, and they're different. And I think we're going to move on now to the 2 final parts that are of most interest, that are most novel, which is Tet, which is the Lunar New Year. Lien, you want to just share?
Okay, so Lunar New Year is a very important event for all of the Vietnamese people. So that's the time for people, for family reunion, and the time for the people to think of their ancestor. So they can everywhere from other parts of Vietnam and even in other countries, they really want to come back to Vietnam to see their family on Tet holiday. And especially Tet holiday is the longest holiday in Vietnam. So that's a time people, when they are very busy, they have an opportunity to get together and to see each other and to go to visit many places and enjoy the food. Or they can put, Vietnamese people put their like a plan in just for the one time of the holiday. That's that holiday. Yeah. And the flowers, decoration using the flowers in Vietnam is also very special. We have 2 kinds of flowers, like you see here in the on the screen. That is the Mai flowers. It stands for the south of Vietnam. But in the north, we have peach blossom flowers. That's more familiar with the north of Vietnam.
So I'm going to speak to the weddings. I've gone to a couple and didn't realize that there are modern weddings, which I believe is what Mai is going to have. Although Mai will be returning home and may have a more traditional wedding. I'll let her speak in a second. But this is a modern wedding that I went to, and the groom was on the faculty of the university where I was teaching. And this is a huge wedding complex. I mean, we have wedding halls, but this must have been 5 or 6 wedding halls, a really huge operation. Next. And this is an example of the opposite of a traditional wedding. And this was the woman that you saw from the second slide, Lien, who is the faculty member and probably my closest friend. I was not able to attend this wedding, but this is certainly very traditional. Next. And then you see this is the non-traditional part of it. And I will have my speak, but I believe that typically you get married in two cities, the groom and then, or there's parties in the groom's hometown and then the brides. And with that, Mai, do you want to speak a little to
Oh yeah.
your wedding plans if you go home to Vietnam?
Yeah, if you believe or not, Vietnam traditional wedding happen in 3 days. The first day, we and the bride family, the whole family will reunited. They celebrate, they drink, they sing from day to night. The second day, same thing happened in the groom's family. They celebrate, they eat, they sing, they have fun. And then the last day, when the groom family will come to the bride family, and the old elderly will ask the bride parents permission for him to marry her, then they would travel either to the groom house to celebrate, or in the modern way, they will go to a restaurant to celebrate, and then all the guests will gather, friend, family, everyone, and they have fun. Again, they introduce the both family on the stage, and the groom and the men will have some custom like pour the drink to the glasses and cut the cake, or some extra if they would like to. Then people will have dinner together. And in Vietnam, we don't do buffet. We do places, and we have like all the food will places on the table, and people will serve themselves. And we usually have like 10 dishes for each table in the wedding. And that's how Vietnam wedding traditional way. And on the morning that the groom come to the bride family, they usually wear áo dài, which is the traditional clothes of Vietnamese. And next, please. So áo dài is which is you seeing on the pictures right now, but on the wedding we wear will be the red color, which is means lucky in Vietnam. So next, please.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And Lien, you might want to refresh my memory. At Ton Duc Tong, women had to wear the áo dài 2 days, and men had to wear a white shirt.
Yes, you're correct. On Monday and Thursday every week, we have to wear áo dài, even the university students. So áo dài is a compulsory costume for high school female students in Vietnam. But for university, it's optional. But actually at Tôn Đức Thắng University, we want to follow that tradition. So that's why female students need to wear áo dài 2 days a week.
And I've actually seen that rule enforced.
Yes, very sorry, but enforced. Yes.
Thank you so much. That was such a spectacular presentation. Yes, I see Elizabeth there giving the applause too. And I'm sure that everyone on the line really enjoyed it. I know this really has made me want to go to Vietnam. Sonal was chatting with me and saying that you guys sold her on the pho for sure. I mean, you did such a great job talking about everything that goes into pho, and then Lien telling us about the different regional differences between the food. And I'd like to acknowledge what Alpha said in the chat. Alpha is also one of our board members. Hi, Alpha. Great to have you. And he's from Cameroon, and he says that food seems to be such an integral part of the Vietnamese expression, just like in his country, Cameroon. So I definitely felt that come across too, that there is so much variety in terms of the food, and it just looks all so delicious. I have tried pho here in Phoenix, but I'm sure it does not compare at all. So I don't know if anyone has a question they would like to ask. We have a few minutes. I think you all covered so much that I think that's probably part of the reason why everyone's kind of just in awe right now of all of the things that we learned today, between the places to visit all across the country. I think it's so difficult to cover everything in an hour, and you did such a wonderful job. So from the places to see, the food to try, the traditions, absolutely phenomenal.